Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Burgundy, and this is yet another battle right analysis or post-commentary or casting, whichever you want to call it, whichever makes the most sense to you. This is some footage that I recorded a few weeks back, so I have no clear memory of what happens in the match, which is probably useful for one of these videos since I feel the commentating will be more dynamic and it'll be more like a live thing. So yeah, hopefully that works out just fine and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And I'll see you in the gameplay in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we are in the battle arena, one of the more aesthetically pleasing if you ask me. I just think it looks very nice. We're teamed up with a rook here. The first battle right I'm gonna go for is most likely space. The repeated flight capabilities, letting you recast your jetpack jump to return to your original position. Which I just find to be a very useful battle right overall. It's what I always go with if it's not a very special occasion, if you will. And yeah, nothing special going on yet, running around in a circle, waiting for the match to begin, and here we go. Rook goes for a very direct approach, I guess you could call it. I was going to loop around, but I joined up fast enough to dish out some damage alongside him. The croak goes very aggressive on me, but I have a very friendly fat man, or bulky man I should say, keeping him at a comfortable distance. So far we seem to be winning the trading. Croak is very low, excuse me, I stumbled upon my own tongue there. Tried to use a flamethrower while his invis. I don't know how much that hit him, but I'm gonna guess not a whole lot. Rook goes in even more aggressive than before. Takes a lot of damage in the process. I've tried to keep him somewhat alive with my sap, but it is probably not gonna be enough. There he goes down to the Ashka ultimate, but he put up a valiant effort, I would say. And here I try to go for the flamethrower again. I have a bad habit of overusing that in situations where I could just have preserve the energy and use something more efficient instead. We use nothing at all and rely on my basic attacks. So the first round goes to the enemy team, and yeah, chiefly due to my mistakes and me staying a little too far away from my teammate to be all that helpful. Second round comes around, I believe I go for... Yes, I do, the double rocket. So now I have another, charge of my right click, the long range missile that she shoots out ever so often on the screen here. Which is just decent poke, very good damage, which makes the poke very good, I guess. Yeah, words, they're difficult. And I think it's just overall the optimal way to go most of the time. Rook keeps going aggressive. I believe I try to adapt here a little bit to a more cooperative standpoint, I guess, to a cooperative play style. I still get cornered by the frogman quite often, and it's not really ideal. I managed to kite him out there with my double jump, finally putting that to somewhat good use. And taking out the Ashka in the process. Well, Rook did most of the work, but I'd like to say that I was part of it. Here, using the flamethrower in a somewhat decent position, I did land most of the blast on him, stun him while he's invisible, which is very useful, and Rook takes him out with the ultimate. And that was a far more favorable round for us. And I got MVP of the round. I really didn't think I'd ever get that playing the way I did in the first round. Third round comes about. We have ourselves a decision to make, but I believe I go with the sap attack speed. That is spoiling what's gonna happen, but yes, that is what I do because it's what I pretty much always do when I'm faced with a very sticky sort of melee character against me, such as Croak. And I just overall like the idea of, the feeling of blasting out 3 shells, eventually 4 if you decide to build that way, into the face of an assailant, while you yourself are shielded and your movement speed is boosted. I hit one of my rockets there, dealing some damage to the Ashka. I slug it out with Croak as per usual, and kite out when I feel like I have nothing more to offer. Then go way back in and take a very aggressive standpoint. That stun didn't land on him, but it doesn't seem to matter in the slightest. I get the orb with the flamethrower, I shield myself out of his stun and most of the damage that could have followed up, and this seems to be a round very much in our favor. But nothing is won quite yet. Rook keeps going very manly against this Frogman, taking a lot of damage in the process. The ultimate hits and Rook is in a bad spot, and his ultimate doesn't amount to much, but I am very capable of fighting Croak on my own now. That's the thing I like about Iva, which might make her borderline overpowered, is that she's a ranged poker with a very, very potent melee combat, if you will. And I get a second MVP of the round, which just feels very nice overall. The fourth round, I believe, comes around, and the build will continue to be progressively more aggressive, going for the four shells in my shotgun rather than the 3 original, letting me blast out while I use my shield. 4 shells in matter of very short. I didn't look up the seconds, and I don't know why it sounded like I did. But yeah, it's just a very nice build to go. Don't know if it's optimal, and at a higher level of play, I would say it's not. You probably want to go for some more survivability and or control, crowd control if you will. But most of the time it works out just fine for me. The match is pretty much like the previous ones, Croak going very aggressive on me. Rook is taking more of a defensive or at least group up standpoint, which is very well, or maybe I'm just not kiting away from him as much as I usually do. I generally have a pretty bad idea of where to position myself as to be a effective teammate. But I forced the Frogman to retreat from my very frightening grandma shotgun, and my ultimate is ready, and I think I managed to deal quite the amount of damage here. Yes, I do, or at least Rook does, and I think I hit somebody at least. I'm grabbing some healing here just to be safe. We're both significantly low, and Ashka has a very real opportunity to turn this around. Rook gets stunned up, takes a lot of damage. I sap him to keep him alive, hopefully, and we manage to corner Ashka without many escapes apart from his ultimate, which nearly kills me. Rook grabs the healing, and I believe this shall be it. The splash damage from my rocket or the damage from Rook's auto attacks is enough to take Ashka down, and that is the game in our pocket. And I believe this shall be the end of the video. It was a shorter one, I only had the 1 match recorded, but I feel like these sort of things are better digested in short doses, so yeah. That'll be it for me for this time. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Penis. Hey, I finally leveled up on my Elo, or my MMR, I suppose it's called. You won the match, I don't know. I got horns. I didn't have horns previously. I'm kind of sad that I didn't catch that in the recording. What's this? It's pretty cool. And here's the rewards and whatnot. Okay, thank you.